Good evening. Hello. My name's Arnold Roy Lozano. I'm 43 years of age. I'm a father of four small kids and a loving husband to my better half, who is my wife. And at the same time, I'm currently residing in Tubtubon, Sibulan, Negros Oriental. Currently working as part of Inspiro Dumaguete, Philippines, as a customer service representative. Yet I'm looking forward to be a part of WorkPod. I was provided with some questions here, and I'm about to answer them for you. To start with, first question is growing up. What is your favorite thing to do and why? Around that time when I was a kid, back in the elementary days, I'm fond into reading books. Apart from reading books that are being provided by our school, like the modules and other book references. I'm fond into reading history books and also travel magazines. The reason behind that is I'm trying to obtain as much information as I could, even at that young age. Second question: after school, what did you study? If you're pertaining to what I took up in college, what course did I took up? Um, I took up Bachelor of Science major in avionics technology or avionics. And when I graduated, mostly the graduates of this course and ends up being an aircraft mechanic or an aircraft specialist. Um, Part of the course is studying physics and more on thermodynamics and aerodynamics and the airline operation, as well as being familiar with the aircraft instrumentation. As we all know, a cockpit inside an aircraft that, as you may notice, it has lots of equipments in there, like radio and navigational systems. Um, those things that I learned back from college. And for any other personal courses, I think I would say for extracurricular activities, I joined the Thai boxing club of our school back in college, and that's pretty much it. The third question: tell us about your previous career experience. After I graduated in college, um, I was a trainee at the 505th Wing Search and Rescue Group of the Philippine Air Force, located in Villamor Urbis in Pasay City. And what I do around that time was mainly doing some helicopter maintenance for Huey and Sikorsky branded helicopters, models like S-72 for Sikorsky. For Bell Huey helicopters, that would be UH-1H. As you may know, those helicopters used in the Vietnam War, and also the ones that you notice flying in the air, which are being used by the Philippine military, like the Army and the Air Force, that are used for rescue missions. For Bell Huey helicopters, it's mainly a two rotor blade helicopter, while the Sikorsky helicopters uses four rotor blades to operate and to fly in the air. And what I do that time, apart from doing maintenance of aircraft instrumentation and equipments, I also being privileged um, joining the test flight before the before the helicopter is going to be used for a specific assignment, like firefighting events, and also conduct and also search and rescue missions being done by the said um, wing, which is the search and rescue group of Philippine Air Force. And after that, um, I worked as a medical representative. My experience before, I've been a part of them of MedHouse Pharma or Pharmaceuticals. Their headquarters is in Kamuning in Quezon City. And then what I do recall around that time, my assignment was I started in Pampanga, and then I got assigned, moved over to Parañaque, Las Piñas, Taguig, and Muntinlupa before I got assigned to Cebu. What I mainly do before was marketing the medicines that we sell, that my company sells, and then at the same time I oftentimes visit hospitals, physicians, visiting them at the hospitals that they are working at, and also visit physicians' own clinics. And also, I take those medicines to pharmacies doing deliveries um, on, by my own self. And then doing some inventory of medicines that were sold, and the unsold ones, I arrange something so that they get returned back at our warehouse. And then after that, I tried working as a real estate agent, a salesperson of Robinson's Land Corporation. Robinson's Land Corporation and Robinson's Mall, the owner is the same, who happens to be Frederico. And then what I recall doing before was pre-selling, upselling condominium units, both that are already built and haven't been built yet. And then after that, I moved on to working in the BPO industry. Started with Sitel Philippines in Julio Vargas in Pasig as a customer service representative. The account was Sears.com. Sears also owns Kmart. It's an um, online market platform selling all kinds of products that you can find in the mall, and also from other places like appliances, kitchenwares. You can name all of those, anything that you see inside the mall. And apart from providing assistance of order status, I also cater arranging appointments for a tech visit if any defective appliances needs to be repaired. If it's still covered under warranty, the appointment's for free. If it's no longer covered in any warranty, they would pay for it, and we'll send them a technician. And we offer as well warranties for those type of repairs. And the system that we were using around that time was Kana, both for logging tickets after the call is wrapped up. So we document everything inside Kana, and also utilize oftentimes Outlook email in sending an email communication to our immediate superiors. um, and also exchanging of email communication so that employees would know their current stats and metric wise. And then after that time, I moved to a different BPO company, which was Infosys. That was my first time working as a technical support representative. The account was AT&T Uverse. It's a company providing internet service on a VoIP setup, VoIP, meaning voice over internet and phone. So the signal passes through the modem coming from the main hub, and it distributes a signal to provide TV service equivalent to a cable TV service. We can get channels. We do some upgrading of the TV subscription, adding channels onto it, and we cater after sales as well. And for the internet service, we cater issues of internet lag, internet's not working. I would like to share. There are instances that I found out for myself that the issue is not with the internet connectivity, but instead it's on the equipment itself. Something else is causing the lag, whether it's the equipment system logs. So mainly I do clear cache and cookies, um, providing those instructions to the customer over the phone, and also reconfiguring their modem so that they can personalize their Wi-Fi password and network SSID or network ID, and also boosting the signal that their modem is capable of. Such brands like Cisco and Motorola HVG or HGV, as far as I can recall, those brands of modems for TV boxes. That will be mostly Cisco branded TV boxes and TV receivers. For the phone unit, for the phone system, what we do, if there are any issues like the phone service is not working, we do some troubleshooting, providing steps to the customer on what to do on their end prior to resorting to arranging a technician visit at their place. Yet we do as much as we could to address a problem instead of sending a technician, which would cost them a specific amount, which I believe it won't be necessary for me to disclose that, whatever that amount is anymore to you. Um, Unfortunately, around that time, the client decided to um, halt their business with Infosys. So Infosys transferred me to Alabang from Taguig, and then in there, from what I recall, the job description was IT service desk, mainly um, providing assistance to hotel employees and corporate employees of Michael Stores and Aaron Brothers. It's a bookstore known in the United States and Canada. Mainly the concerns of the employees would be either password or account access, tools access. So we do resetting of the password for them, and then at the same time, um, helping them out in configuring their profile onto the system of Aaron Brothers and Michael Stores, and troubleshooting any internet related issues, same as what I do back in AT&T Uverse. And at the same time, trying to fix issues with pin pads, price scanners, and the phone system in a within that bookstore branch. We work with the technician on site to make sure that the IP address that they configured would connect to the network and it's pinging, and also working on printer issues, I mean, mostly Xerox branded and HP and Brothersoft printers. So if the printer is not working, malfunctioning, we tried as much as we could to address those by performing some troubleshooting steps. They gave us the stick of a manual for us to read, not necessarily to memorize everything inside that book, but instead getting myself familiarized with the processes. After that, I moved to a different line of work, which was with C3 Contact Services, located in Taguig. What I recall doing before for that company, the account is VTech. Mainly, what I do before was providing some technical assistance, after sales, technical support that customers need in configuring their phone handsets. I'm not talking about phone handsets that requires a SIM card. No, not at all. I'm pertaining to phone handsets that are being used. If you happen to know the Pulse Tone phone units and the Touch Tone phone units. And what we do as well, we pair the new handsets onto the existing base, and as well addressing any concerns if they would like to get a replacement phone, if it's still covered under any warranty. We replace those at no cost. But if it's covered under warranty, we try to upsell some newly released phone units advertised on the website. It's not only VTech phones that I handled before. I'm also catering any concerns about AT&T branded phones. What I would like to add is I remember performing troubleshooting steps with those customers over the phone, addressing phone connectivity issues. There's at some point I discovered that it's the phone socket that is not working. Things like those, for examples that I can provide. And then after that, I moved to a different account, which is called TalkTalk. It's a UK-based ISP service, and it was already with Transcom Philippines, located in Tindasitas and Pasig. It's almost equivalent to the line of work that I used to do when I was part of Infosys, working with Uverse, AT&T Uverse, catering concerns relating to internet connectivity issues, TV service disruption issues, and also phone service related issues. The difference only is that we're catering UK-based customers, and one difference as well that I have noticed is the different accent of the person on the other line, which at some point very challenging, since I was used to speaking with American and Canadian customers. And when I got moved working as a technical support for TalkTalk UK, I saw myself that I'm able to adjust to the pace, and I was able to learn a lot from that and getting familiarized with the system. From what I do recall, they were using CRM as their main tool for ticketing, logging case or tickets, and also for sending emails, it's still Outlook. For sending emails to customers, we would utilize CRM instead. And then after that, for some reason, my father passed away, unfortunately. And then after that, I moved. I moved somewhere else. I traveled abroad by the request of my sister. So I became a tourist in the United Arab Emirates. It did not took me a while before I landed a job as a male secretary of a Palestinian employer. What I recall doing before was um, getting the measurements that are needed prior to the installation of the HVAC equipments. HVAC meaning, I'll cite an example: air conditioning units, heat furnaces, things like those, and also providing measurements that are needed prior to a duct installation would be done. And then after that, I moved back to the Philippines. I was lucky to be part of Multisource Philippines as a service desk associate, catering hotel employees and corporate employees of Choice Hotels. It's a known hotel chain in the United States and in some other countries too that they are well known. And what I recall during that time was um, password reset for hotel employees and corporate employees. Secondly, doing some auditing job, like if there are any reports that were being generated, we're trying to look for any discrepancies by doing some comparison of the previous month report compared to what's already from coming from the previous months before that certain report was made or generated. And then at the same time, I do troubleshoot um, configuration of EMV pin pads. EMV stands for Europay, MasterCard, and I apologize. I'm not really gonna be able to recall anymore um, what it stands for. Yet what I do before was working with the technician on site to configure the IP addresses that will be used for those credit card terminals, and also helping out those technicians to configure them on the computer. If if a if a certain hotel has some complaints about the newly purchased credit card terminal, we log a case, and prior to providing replacement, we do the necessary troubleshooting steps prior to issuing any replacement. And the main ticketing tool that they used around that time was ServiceNow, and all the email communication as well as through Outlook. And at the same time, um, I the difference working with Altisource and TSI, because TSI um, got the account from Altisource, yet the work still continues for those affected employees. And then after that, me and my wife came up with a decision to move over to Negros Oriental. And before that, I was scouting for some information about any available job vacancies that would somehow offering offering pay which is almost comparable to what I used to have earned before. So I did much effort in scouting for those companies that are looking for someone who would be able to do the task that they give. And I was fortunate enough to be part of Inspiro Dumaguete, Philippines, as a customer service representative, mainly catering concerns of pre-sales and after-sales of any ticket or parking pass purchases. We cater buyers of tickets, we cater sellers of tickets on the buyer's side of the tickets. We provide as much information as we could that are made available for the customer before they come up with a decision of either keeping the tickets or just to wait for the ticket to be received electronically. And other than that, as well on the seller side, what I recall doing up until now is helping out sellers how to list their tickets using our ticketing platform, which is StubHub.com and Viagogo.com. And I would like to let you know that they're using customers using mobile app. In some rare instances, they use the website instead to just gain access to tickets, because there are instances that it's a moving barcode that requires a link to be presented to the customer. And that's pretty much it, that as much as I can share. Next question: what programs and software tools have you used in previous roles? Um, I've experienced using Kana system um, for logging cases or tickets, as well as utilizing ServiceNow way back when I was working with Infosys. Up until now, ServiceNow is being used here in Spiro, Dumaguete. What are your best qualities or personal attributes? May I say that according to based on what the feedback that I'm getting from my bosses that I worked with before, was that I'm someone who is able to work with less supervision. I do admit at some point that I was too much dependent of my boss, because it's understandable though that I'm just a newbie around that time. I taken the initiative of learning some new things after browsing on the internet. Reason behind that I'm doing that is trying as much as I could to obtain much more information that I myself believe that would be beneficial for me and for those customers that I'm speaking with on behalf of the company. Number 6, how would you feel about making phone calls to customers? I I think I can put it this way, which is beyond excitement, and also and also, I'm the type of person who is not selfish. What I tend to do is, if I notice that someone is having a hard time dealing with their phone call, I ask them what's the problem, and I proactively offer to helping them out and what to say, because some of them are newbies in the BPO industry. So I tend to reach out to a person, even though they're not seeking for any help. Yet it's pretty much evident that they are otherwise instead having issues and having some challenges in providing the information to customers. And for the let me access the next question here. What is the key to making sure a project is a success for when working remotely? As we all know, working remotely, if you're pertaining to working from home, I'm still on a BPO setup. It's a bit challenging due to the noise of the neighbors, like singing the video okay, and at the same time for some music noise in the neighbor. Um, I see to it that I'm able to provide as much as the information that I could to the customers, things that they need, for them to gain access to their tickets. For the remote work, apart from those negative factors that I have mentioned, which it's still considered manageable to be fixed. It's just a matter of patience that the customer would have in order for us to accomplish things for them. Number 9. When can you start? Are you happy to work on site? Yes, I am. Definitely, I am. I'm happy to work on site. The difference working on site is that there's no more power disruption because way back in Manila, um, way back in Manila, what I used to do before is to just log a case and then perform some troubleshooting steps. With a customer on the other line, we're helping them out and accessing their tickets. If there are any information relevant that they ask or they requested to know, then I with more willingness give it to them. And right now, since March of this year, they promoted me as a supervisor, taking phone calls for supervisor calls, and it's still the same ticketing tool that is being used on this. And if I may add up, if there are concerns that the electronic ticket transfer didn't go through, we try to cater it um, as much as if we could. I think that's pretty much it that I can share about that. When can you start? Are you happy to work on site? Yes, I am. I'm happy to work on site. And not only that, it depends when will be the available date where I'd be able to see the exact working contract with WorkPod. I'm pretty much happy to work on site. Are you someone that likes learning new skills? Yes, I am. That's what I mentioned earlier. I don't have any IT background, but how come I'm able to perform those tasks provided to me here to fix any phone system issues, internet service, provision related issues? For the password resets, it's already given, but it's part of the job description. However, the most critical part is being able to help out customers with their after sales. What happens to you most about working as a virtual assistant? If I may say that this would be the first time that I would have a job description of being a virtual assistant. If it's not that too far away from the experience that I had as a technical support representative, I find no reason to quit or not pursue this application. And I think that's it. I thank you for your time. Appreciate it very much.